you know, there's another quote by Roy Keane, have a slide in there. He says, skill was and never will be the result of coaching. It's a love affair between child and ball. Provocative statement. We're not saying the coaches aren't important, but when you look at the best of the best, they learn their technical skills away from the organized training. Can we as coaches make players better? Absolutely. But when it comes to skill acquisition, it seems that the role that the parents play is 100 times bigger than what the coaches do.
I remember Lee Carsley was playing once, and Lee's playing with the under-11s it was, and we were doing this like street football thing, and Lee, you know, all the parents are there, and he was making his debut in, you know, in the hall in front of the parents, and you can understand why it's a little bit intimidating, you know, all the parents close up. Lee's got the ball, and it's Chris Long who was playing who plays for Motherwell in Scotland. Yeah. Long, he nips the ball off him like a Ferris off him, through his legs, scored. I'm standing against the wall, and all I said to Lee was, Lee, you can't give the ball away at this level, you know. And the whole place has gone up, and he's soon playing real. I tell you, he's soon moving it 1 and 2 touch and doing the dribbles.
I'll tell you the story that it's not just about me, but it's the genius of Sir Alex Ferguson. I went up for that first trial week, and that end of that week ended up with us playing a practice game against Nottingham Forest. After that, we were all the lads, there's probably about 12, 14 gifted boys from all over the country that had gone up, got dropped back at Manchester Piccadilly train station, got the train for hours on end all the way back to where I lived. My mum picked me up from the train station and said, while I was travelling, Sir Alex had phoned her up and asked if I'd sign for the club. And that, as a 14-year-old boy, there was only one place I was ever going to sign to hear that. But it wasn't just me that he'd do that for. He'd do it for every player. The way that he treated people was why the club was so successful. He'd treat the dinner ladies and the kit men with just as much respect as he'd treat Roy Keane or Eric Cantona.
Well, I don't know if you know about Arbroath Football Club, but it's the closest ground, I think, to the sea. I don't know if it's the world or Britain, but there's often wind assistance down there during the season. So, you know, if you ever fancy a game down here, I think you'll score a few more. I think one day the three of us should have a race. Garden footballers versus 360 race. What do you think?
Why not? We've got to get our own team up.
Okay, we'll get a squad.
Squad and Fortnite, who's better?
Well, you guys have been... Well, no, wait. I've got a story. I got banned from Fortnite because I was so good. They won't let me back on the game, so...
You've not even played Fortnite.
Who said? Prove it.
Have you got any royal victories?
I don't know what that is. Back to the race.
Lose. You just learn. That's what you gotta. You're gonna miss chances. You'll get sent off. You'll hopefully not all the time, but it will happen. You make mistakes. You make bad passes, and that's what makes. It's how you react. You know what I mean? And that's the most important thing, I think.
That's a brilliant quote. You never lose, you learn. That's
exactly. Yeah.
So if you could pick one thing, what's the most important thing that you think you teach at Beestera? If you can pick one thing, James.
The why. So why we do something. So it's important for a player to understand, today we're working on short passing. We need your hips to be like this. Why? Why are your hips like this? And the more that the player can understand the why behind the activity and how that's going to impact them as a player, I think the better it'd be in terms of their development too.
Nah, I've seen a video of Zach doing kicky-ups. He can do a few, I think. Okay, we'll have another challenge, right? 360 v Garden Footballers. You two versus me on the kicky-ups, right?
Can we do squads again?
We can do squads again. I'll just do it on my own and still beat all your squads.
Okay, I think we'll get Rory because he can do the most.
Oh no, not him.
My highest is like 49.
Well done. Rory's highest is like the calculator just breaks, it melts because it can't.
600 or something.
It can't go that high. See, did you adjust to everything straight away? Because I'm just trying to imagine it from your point of view. You know, you're just a kid. You've come over from Canada. You're seeing all these stars. You know, you're at this relatively big club. Did you adjust straight away, or was there a lot of nerves for the first few weeks, months?
Honestly, like people ask me that regularly, and you know, I think about it now. Like, you know, I have kids of my own, and start thinking like, what's going on through their heads, you know? But it was honestly just I was cracking on. I was living a dream. I you know, trained twice a day, 3 times a day, 3 times a day, whatever it was. You just do it, you know. It was really you don't think twice. I think, you know, that's the beauty of having a young mind and not thinking about anything else but just football. So for me, it was just awesome.
If you're a coach and you just roll the ball out and you say the game's the best teacher, I disagree with that. I think if you've got a topic and you really want to emphasize overloads in wide areas, for example, you would condition the game to force mistakes or positives or your coaching points to come out within that game. So I don't think it's a case of just rolling the ball out. I think the coach can adapt their session to that. But in an individual session, I really feel that you can manipulate whatever you want out of the session.
Creating the environment, setting it up, and their icons coming in, playing with them. And, you know, Alan Stubbs talking to a player, get a little bit closer. Where in the world do you get that sort of experience at 9, 10, 11, 12 years of age? And they're on the Lee Carsley wall passes, Gaza doing the dribbles, putting them all over their head, the disguise. They're watching them and running away. That so valuable for those players' developments, all those experiences.
Fantastic stories, Tosh. I can only imagine what it would be like to be a young kid and playing with Gaza and all the players you mentioned. Absolutely brilliant.
I've taken coaching licenses. I've been an instructor on licenses. I watch a lot of football. I played a lot of football. But when it came to the neuroscience and the way that kids learn and the way that the body is hardwired, and this whole understanding that nerve cells that fire together, wire together, and create these neural pathways and networks, and that this technical development is a very unconscious process, massive eye-opener for me. And then also becoming a parent and understanding my role and my child's need for parental approval and attention and praise supercharges that learning, because it's an emotional environment. And again, just to recap, emotionally charged environment is deep learning and long-term memory, man. That's it.
And we don't mind mistakes. We'd rather mistakes happen. We actually encourage mistakes just so we can then, our feedback to the player is, why did that happen? And if they give us a reasonable explanation of why it happened or why the skill broke down, then that helps us in terms of our teaching and what we can build on of that. So yeah, just the confidence aspect for players is enormous. And a coach, the amount of weight that the coach has in terms of their tone, the words that they say to the player in terms of the feedback is enormous, especially for the younger players too.
And as I said, a lot of credit to the coaches, because they obviously, you know, set us off on the right foot. And, you know, I think it's up to us as the players to be receptive to taking on information. You know, it's all well and good having a good coach that's giving you the right information, but, you know, if you're not going to take on that information, then you're not going to improve.
Use it a lot, but leave your ego at the door. You know, you're there for them. Their book, you're just a chapter in it. You know, they're not a chapter in your book.
Because, you know, from a very young age, encouraging and practicing juggling the ball, unfortunately, takes a ridiculous amount of time to become good at it. So for me, I encourage more of the ball mastery stuff. But having said that, most of the time you'll find that the best jugglers of young kids on a team are usually the best players. And that just shows that they spend the most time with the ball.
Okay, next question. Leo, how did you start playing football?
You know,
I
the
know.
one that even got me into football.
Well, yeah, I know, but everyone else who's watching doesn't know, Leo, so you have to tell them.
I I forgot the story because it was long ago.
I'll tell the story. So Leo's an Aberdeen fan, so basically hates football because Aberdeen are rubbish, and so he didn't play
That's not
football
a
for a
story.
long time. And I know his dad, and I said to his dad, "Oh, bring him down to 360." And ever since then, he's gone from being like an Aberdeen player to like an Arbroath player. So he's gone from here right up to here. So well done, Leo.
I think it's the other way around.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
From an Arbroath to Aberdeen player.
You're right, James. It's the coffees.
Yeah, I know. I think he's had too many, huh? Right.
In the olden days, we thought that it was only really the forward-going kind of attacking type players that needed to have good technical skills. But the modern day player today, including goalkeepers, is they must be masters of the ball.
Zach, who's faster? You or Leo?
You need to stop it with these questions.
I know the answer already.
Okay, Zach's thinking about it. So Leo, if you know the answer, you answer.
Me.
Ah, well done, Leo. Zach, have you got an answer now?
Nope.
Well, I'll tell you the correct answer is me. Again, I'm faster than both of you.
Why do I never get that?
You're just joking.